Hey my friends, welcome back to another video or another episode depending on where you are tuning in from. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Sydney. I put out new videos every single Friday that talk all about my journey with personal growth and spirituality and healing and manifestation and spirituality and living your dream life and literally everything in between, self-discovery, all of those different things. So if you are coming back, welcome back. If you are interested in any of those topics that I just mentioned, please be sure that you're subscribed either on the YouTube channel or the podcast so that you don't miss out on another video or episode. And if you have any suggestions on things that you want to see from this channel or from this podcast moving forward, please feel free to either comment below if you're watching this on YouTube or just shoot me a DM over on Instagram. I will leave everything linked in the description below. And yeah, today I'm excited because it's a little bit different of a video, similar to last week's, all about just like where I've been and my journey and what I'm navigating at the moment. But I did a little bit of self-discovery this morning and I wanted to share with you guys some different exercises and journal prompts that you can do for your own self-discovery journey, as well as like the big aha moments that came from me doing it for myself. And I, up until this point, have been very focused on making this more of an educational channel and making this something that is more, like I just had this feeling like I always had to come on here and give really great advice. And as I'm navigating kind of the ups and downs of my own journey, I'm just returning back to this place of just wanting to share purely from my own journey, my own experiences, the good, the bad, everything in between, in hopes that I can help some people feel less alone, but also like for my own healing, to be able to talk it out with people who are in a like-minded space has been very therapeutic. So I wanted to share with you guys, this video and these journal prompts are inspired by Lavendaire. I will put her initial video that I went through this morning in case you want to go through it yourself. But this is where I got the journal prompts from. She's a great resource if you're not already following her already. But yeah, so let's just get into it. So first of all, the purpose of this is to reflect on how things have been going and to reset the areas of your life that feel like they need a reset. And at the time that I'm recording this, I'm actually quarantined because I tested positive for COVID. So you're going to see this a week later, but or technically the week of. So when you're seeing this, my out of quarantine date is tomorrow. And I'm finally starting to feel better. So I just got ready and put some jewelry on, and I just thought I would use this time in isolation to just do my own inner work around like lessons I've learned and just like reflecting and resetting my life. I always feel like the times that we're forced to rest or forced to slow down, whether it's an illness or an injury, or some type of event in your life, I feel like I always feel like it's a sign from the universe that we need to slow down and we need to go inward. And that's what I like to use these, opportunities as, obviously moving a little bit slower than usual, but that's why I still sound congested, because I still am feeling a little under the weather, but I feel like I'm on the upward swing of it. But yeah, so that's where I've been. That's what's been going on with me. So the first prompt to ask yourself with this is, what are the lessons that you have learned in the last 3 months? So looking at wins, challenges, difficult things, like what are the life lessons that have come up for you? So for me, these are kind of the things that I wrote down. First of all, that growth and learning must be an ongoing journey, and there's always more to learn, and there's always going to be more ways to experience growth in your life, in your business, in your healing, in every aspect of your life. I feel like once I went full-time in my business, I kind of was like, okay, I'm good. Like I hit this milestone where I'm full-time. And I kind of lost that hunger to keep learning and to keep growing and to keep doing my own inner work, because I feel like I've done so much up until this point. And I have seen some negative effects of not continuing on that journey. So that's the first lesson that I've learned. The second lesson that I've learned is that new money mindset challenges might come up as you have new experiences and as you embark on new paths in your life, especially when you're running your own business. For me, with every new level, I always say comes new challenges. People say new level, new devil. And for me personally, with money mindset, I've definitely seen that in my own life. And as I moved into running my business full time, there were so many different like money mindset things that I had to move through and am moving through now that I'm full time. So that's my second lesson. My third lesson is that taking care of your health and your well-being, mind, body, and soul has to be a daily commitment. It's not something that you can do just until you hit the end of your 90-day challenge or your workout program. But really, I've just really learned the importance of prioritizing your morning and your evening routines and setting them up in a way that is supportive of your health and wellness. And I feel like building habits is probably the best way to embark on that health and wellness journey. And like my morning and night routines are the most sacred part of my day, and they take up a lot of my time, but I wouldn't want to have it any other way. So that's my third one. My fourth lesson that I've learned is that life is too short to spend time with people and in situations that ruin your mood and your energy. Personally, I've been noticing a lot of, I'm somebody who speaks my mind very openly, and I am really learning that, if there's just learning not to participate in the drama has been a really big lesson. And knowing that it's okay to create some space, whether that's at work or school or maybe with family, knowing that you don't have to be in it all the time and that you can create boundaries. And really just knowing that you don't have to apologize for not spending time with people that don't feel good for you and your energy. So that's number 4. Number 5 is that alone time is beautiful and is sacred, and it should be prioritized every single day. For me, this is in the form of my morning and my night routine. When I'm consistently doing my morning and my night routine, I feel a million times better, in every aspect of my life, versus when I'm kind of neglecting that. Okay, that's number 5. Okay, and then in terms of my wins over the last 3 months, getting myself a pool membership this summer. I know that might sound really silly, but this is the first time I've ever done it. I've always wanted one, and I'm finally at an age where I'm okay, I could just go get one because whatever. And it just helps. It just was really nice to feel like I was in vacation mode for a lot of the summer. Okay, other wins have been going to New York City in July with my brother, finding a pace of working at the hospital that better suits me and just my lifestyle and taking care of myself, coaching volleyball again after not being able to do it because of COVID, hosting my in-person, and lastly, hosting my first in-person self-love and confidence event. I did that back in mid-September, and it was strictly for anywhere from middle school to high school girls, and it was just wonderful. It was so good. So that's the first question. The first thing to reflect on is lessons that you've learned in the last 3 months, any wins, any challenges, and anything else that's come up for you, just to reflect on how the last 3 months have been. So the next question, or the next prompt, is to rate yourself in all areas of your life, and really look at what areas do you feel need the most work. So I used the life wheel exercise. I actually did this on my iPad, so I just did I just pulled it up on here, and blew it up and just colored it in, but I'll tell you guys the different aspects, the different areas. And if you don't want to use the life wheel exercise, you totally don't have to. But you can just go through for each category and rate them on a scale of 0 to 10 of, rating yourself of how you feel and how fulfilled you feel in each area. That way again, what areas need the most work, So the areas that were on this specific life wheel that I use, there are plenty of different life wheels out there. You can literally just go on Google and type in life wheel and they all will come up. But the one that I used was career, family and friends, significant others / romance, fun and recreation, health, money, personal growth, and physical environment. So out of those 8, my top ones that needed the most work, I had 4 of them, so like half of the wheel. And if you do the life wheel, you'll kind of see like where you're disproportionate. You want to make it as balanced as possible. But for me, it was with career, with money, with health, and with fun and recreation. So then once you identify that, the third prompt is to go through and get clear on what are you going to prioritize for the next 3 months ahead. So giving yourself a deadline for 3 months from the day that you do this. So for me, it's going to be January 11th, 2022. And I'm sharing these goals to not only inspire you and help you work through this yourself, but to also hold myself accountable, because I feel like that's what I've loved so much about doing everything that I do online, is being able to talk about my goals and talk about what I'm working towards with a like-minded community has been so beneficial for myself. So please feel free to use this community for that for yourself as well. But so again, we're going to get clear on what are your goals, what projects do you want to work on, and what are the action plans that you're going to create. So I just went based off of the life wheel exercise and the areas of my life that I feel like need improvement. So I set goals in 4 different categories. So again, this is what I ranked myself the lowest on the life wheel. So career, fun and recreational, money, and health. So my career goals are to get back into the swing of things with business again. I feel like I've kind of fallen off, and fallen off is kind of the wrong word. I feel like I've been taking a break, just because I was hustling and going so hard for the first like at least 2 years of my business, that I feel like once I hit, okay, I'm full-time in my business, I'm no longer working full-time at the hospital, my schoolwork has like lightened up, like I was like, oh, like I can breathe and relax again, and I got a little too comfortable there, so I'm ready to get back into the swing of things with business. So for me, my goal financially with the business is to make $25,000 this quarter, which is a bit of a stretch, but definitely not impossible. And then my other goal with my career is to finish Business by Design, which is a course that I purchased from James Wedmore, who is an incredible business mentor. He has an incredible podcast called Mind Your Business. He's amazing, and I've learned so much from him already, so I'm excited to go back through the course in its entirety, and to implement that. So those are my 3 goals with career. Get back into the swing of things with business by going through and finishing the Business by Design course and implementing the things that I learn, and with the ultimate goal of making $25,000 between now and the end of 2021. So just for the quarter. My fun goals, I just set 1 goal for the fun goals, is to, if you guys have been around, you know how much I love to travel. You know how much travel is something that just inspires me and lights me up. So my goal is to go to Mexico with my boyfriend, Damin, before the end of, or to have the vacation booked. That's what I'm setting. To have the vacation booked by the end of the year, by December 31st of 2021. For health, I have a couple different health goals. First of all, to get my blood pressure down, because that's been an issue that I've struggled with. So there's a number of supplements that I'm taking and different things that I'm doing. Obviously, once I'm fully recovered from COVID, to get myself back into the swing of things, to lower my blood pressure, but also to help me lose some weight as well, because that's going to also help me lower my blood pressure. So that's my health. Those are my health goals. And I'll get a little bit more into the nitty gritty of like focusing on what you can control and all those things, but this is like the big picture. And then lastly, the money goals are to pay off all of my credit card debt and to break the cycle of having debt forever, and to work through the different money mindset courses that I have purchased as well. So going back to the life lesson I said in the very beginning, like we can never learn enough. There's always so much to learn. And when you can stay in that like beginner's mindset and stay in that mindset of being hungry and eager to learn, I think that's like what creates the most successful people. So I'm just excited to like dive back into these resources that I've already invested in that were so transformational for me, over a year ago now, and just get back to the place that I was in so that I can keep progressing from there. So those are the 4 goals, the 4 main areas. And I then went through and wrote out, so rewind. You want to set yourself a deadline for these goals so that it's not just something that you're always saying, oh yeah, I'm working on this and I'm going to do this. Because if you have a goal set with no deadline, I just don't think we get as far in it as if we're like putting it on the calendar, giving ourselves deadlines, especially if it's something especially if it's something that's personal that no one else is really holding you accountable for. Hold yourself accountable and use your calendar to hold you accountable. I think that's super helpful. And it helps you stay on track as you move forward so that all the action that you're taking is in alignment with the things that you want, it's in alignment with your goals and where you're trying to go. So for my career goals of, obviously wanting to get back into the swing of things in business, I'm using this Business by Design course as like my roadmap for that. Always doing what feels best, always following my intuition, but right now I'm just feeling intuitively led to jump back into this course. So I've actually went through and created a deadline for myself of how many, how long it's going to take me to get through the course. So I'm currently on module 2. There's 6 modules total, but after you get through all the modules, there's different roadmaps you can go down. So I just kind of started the action plan for this, but I have 1 module per week. So I'm setting myself to finish the course by November 14th. It's October 11th when I'm recording this. So I have module 2 is due October 17th. Module 3 is due October 24th. I've already done module 1 by the time I'm recording this. But just giving myself a clear, breakdown of when am I going to get all of this done? Because I've been saying, okay, I'm going to go through this course again, and it's just never happening. And I think exercises like this where you can write it down with a deadline is really helpful. And then I also, to break down the goal of wanting to make $25,000 in the next 3 months, I have it set. So my income goal for October, for each month, October, November, and December individually, is to make $8,333 or more, which will set me on track to hit that $25,000 mark. So I have the deadlines there, and I just have little check marks as well. Okay, so then with the fun goal, my action plan for that is to go on a 1-week all-inclusive vacation to Mexico with my boyfriend have it booked by January 11th of 2022. I know it's a pretty big stretch, but then underneath that I have savings goals. So my ultimate goal is to save $2,000 for the trip. So I'm going to save $666 in my vacation fund by the end of October, save $1,332 by the end of November, and then save the total $2,000 in my vacation fund by by the end of December, so that I can book it by January 11th. I also think there's something really powerful about setting intentions like this and really making this a concrete thing instead of something that's just in your mind that you're dreaming about. And more in terms of the spiritual manifestation side of it. I just think there's more likelihood of things happening when we're okay, I'm going to get this done by this date. I'm going to have this much money by this date. Even if it doesn't go exactly as you plan, because I feel like things never do, it might turn out better than you expected, and you might hit these goals sooner than you thought. So then with my health goals, I'm going to use a habit tracker for these specific goals and intentions, just because I feel like it's something that every day I'm going to be consistently working towards. It's not like I'm just going to hit a goal and then stop. So this will be ongoing. But my goals for my health are to move my body for 30 minutes a day, following the Couch to 5K app for the first 2 months of it. Again, once I'm fully recovered. And then, so doing the Couch to 5K and strength training together and eating intuitively. So that's my goal. So on my habit tracker, I will write down 30 minutes of movement and then have a box where I can color it in if I got it done, or not color it in if I didn't get it done. So that's going to be probably on my iPad as well in the Notability app, just because it's helpful and it's all in one space rather than trying to find papers and whatever. And then the other goal under health, or the other action plan I'm going to take, which is related to lowering my blood pressure, is to exercise, like I said, 30 minutes a day, eating intuitively. I bought 2 different supplements to help with my blood pressure and to help with my anxiety, because I feel like they kind of go hand in hand. Getting good sleep, decreasing stress with daily yoga and meditation practices, both in the morning and at night, and then tracking my blood pressure twice a day. So in this habit tracker, I'm going to have different categories for each of these different interventions. That's like the nurse in me that's coming out. So that's the health goal. And then lastly is the money goals. So more specifically, I'm focusing on, like I said, healing the debt, healing that tendency, but also working on my money mindset. So I've set out the same thing that, like I said, with the Business by Design course. I'm going back through Amanda Francis's Money Mentality Makeover course, which when I first took that course was just like mind blown of how good it was, and cannot recommend it enough if you're looking for a resource. I also have my own course about money mindset from everything that I've learned so far. But again, Amanda Francis and Talia Benson have been like my 2 ride or dies when it comes to this topic, and like where I've learned everything from. So highly recommend them as well. But like I said, I have it mapped out just like I did before, of like the module that I'm going to do and the week that I'm going to get it done. So same thing I did with the business course, but now it's with a money course. So that's that. So my goals are set. My action plan is written out. Now I have 3 more questions that are a little bit more theoretical. And Eileen, like, of Lavendare, like, really describes this in her video as well. Again, I will leave it linked below. But the next question was, what would I do if I knew that I could not fail? And I haven't asked myself this in a while. But here's kind of what came up for me. So first of all, I would openly and vulnerably document my journey online and help other people with the things that I once struggled with. So that's number 1, which is what I'm doing through this. And then the second one is that I would get myself a beautiful condo in Northeast Ohio, like buy my own place finally. And then travel 4 times a year and go live at the beach in an Airbnb from like November to April. Coming home for the holidays, of course, but I've always dreamed of like spending spring and summer here, and winter and most of spring in the South. So it's not snowing and I can be at the beach. So that's like what I would do if I knew I couldn't fail. So again, I feel like this question's really great at like really getting down to like the nitty gritty of your soul's desires. And I think it's really important to base our goals and our life around these things, because if not, like, what are we doing it for, right? So the next question is very similar. But if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? And again, I went through and answered this. I said I would quit my nursing career altogether, which is really bold. I also said I would invest in all of the coaching courses, retreats, etc., to continuously better myself. So continuously investing in myself. And then lastly, I would be traveling all the time and living at the beach for almost half of the year, which I just said. So that's like what I know my soul desires are. And these are really the goals that I'm moving towards. Building the business so I don't have to be a nurse anymore. Investing in anything that I want or need for my own inner healing or to grow and expand this business. And then lastly, like I said, traveling at least 4 times a year and living at the beach in an Airbnb, or maybe even buying my own place at some point. But yeah, that's my big picture goal. So that's what I would do if I had all the money in the world. That's what I would do. So again, that's really good at helping you uncover like what does your soul desire. And then lastly, the last question is, what are some scary things outside of your comfort zone that you want to do this year? And what are some scary things outside of your comfort zone that you want to do in this lifetime? So I wrote down, I want to finally get my own townhouse/condo. I want to take a solo trip to Hawaii. I've always wanted to do that. I want to quit nursing altogether and make my business my full-time career, which I am actively working towards. And that's part of the reason why I want to document this journey, so you guys can see like, oh my God, like this girl was dreaming about this and now she's here. And I just think it's really cool to use this as like a space to document all of this, so I can look back and be like, see, like it's because you didn't give up. And then the last two, I want to go spend a month living in Florida during the winter and test out living there in an Airbnb, possibly this year. I think that'd be amazing. And then lastly, I want to have a business that gives me ultimate time and financial freedom. So those are my answers. And now you see why my goals are what they are to help me get there. So I hope these were helpful. Again, I will leave Lavendair's initial or the video that this is inspired from below so you guys can go through it yourself. But just know, like, I'm proud of you for wherever you are right now. Just know you're exactly where you're meant to be, and whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you're dreaming of, whatever it is that you're desiring is for a reason. And, you know, the universe, God, source, whatever you believe in would not have given you these dreams if you weren't the one to live them out. So just wanted to spark some inspiration for you. These exercises definitely sparked a lot of inspiration for myself, and I'm so excited to like implement all of this moving forward. So I'm excited to bring you guys along with me. If you like this video, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up on YouTube and comment below any takeaways or anything that you relate to from this video, or let me know, you know, what are your biggest goals right now? What are you working towards? And if you had all the time and money in the world, like if anything was possible for you, what does your dream life look like? I love that question. So again, be sure you're subscribed so you never miss out on another video. And if you're on the podcast and you liked this episode, please be sure to give this podcast a 5-star rating and review over on iTunes. I love reading your reviews, especially if you've been listening for a while, and it helps us to get this podcast out to more and more people to grow this community. So I would greatly appreciate that. And you can always come and message me on Instagram. Again, if you guys have anything that you're wanting to see moving forward from me on this channel. So I love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'm just excited to be feeling a little bit more like myself again. So if you're somebody who hasn't been feeling like themselves lately, just know that you're not alone, and just know that I'm literally right there alongside with you, and you're not in this together. So, okay, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later, and I hope you have a beautiful, magical day.